The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
In 1919, the American League champion White Sox met the NL's best in the Cincinnati Reds. Their World Series is forever tainted by the Black Sox scandal that led to the banishment of 8 Chicago players by Kennesaw Mountain Landis. Tonight, these teams meet for the first time since that infamous showdown, but tonight, it's Neon Dion, not Shoeless Joe, and Eddie Seacott yields to Wilson Alvarez. The Reds and the White Sox light up the riverfront next, right here over WGN. From Synergy Field in Cincinnati, Ohio, WGN Sports is proud to present Chicago White Sox baseball. Tonight, it's Barry Larkin, Deion Sanders, and the Cincinnati Reds versus the Big Hurt Frank Thomas, Albert Bell, and the Chicago White Sox. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Synergy Field in Cincinnati with Tom Paciorek. I'm Ken Harrelson. As we get set to bring you a little bit of history this evening, interleague play. In Whipple, we're going to have plenty of time to talk about all the great things about interleague play. We're both for it. But the first order of business is winning a baseball game.
So you got that right. Frank Thomas is not in the lineup once again, Hawk, but the Sox are going to have to rally behind Wilson Alvarez coming off his best outing of the season, 8 shutout innings against the Baltimore Orioles. Pete Shurik is coming back to the form that made him an 18-game winner for Cincinnati 2 years ago. He's won his last 3 starts.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. Game 1 of this 3-game set, Alvarez against Shurik, and we will be back with the rest of the starting lineups right after this.
Chicago White Sox baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Miller Lite, will remind you that anything can happen at Miller time. Your local Ford dealer. See your favorite Ford dealer today and see why there's more to afford. Coca-Cola, always a hit, always Coca-Cola. Hoover, nobody gets the dirt like Hoover, nobody. Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. Montgomery Ward. And by Southwest Airlines, with fares so low, you have the freedom to go places.
First pitch of the ball game to Ray Durham is outside. And once again, welcome back to Synergy Field in Cincinnati, Ohio for Chicago White Sox baseball right here over WGN. Southpaw Pete Shurik delivers. That ball hit deep in the left field. Deion Sanders drifting back right in front of the fence. He hits the ball. You can put it on the board. Yes! A solo shot off the bat of Ray Durham. And it's 1-0 good guys.
Here's a good start to interleague play for the White Sox. He had a 1-0 fastball. Shurik went right after him, and Ray Durham got the head of the bat out, and there's a pretty happy camper. Ray now with 4 homers, 23 driven in on the season. Watch it right here. 1-0 pitch, bang, down and over the middle of the plate. He just dropped some severe head right there. Deion Sanders nursing a ankle problem, and he's not able to jump very high right here, not even get off the ground. He might have had a play on it.
So here's Ozzie. As that pitch slicing down in the left field area, but foul. Ozzie hitting at 265, a homer. He has knocked in 12. So as we talked about at the top, certainly some history being made this evening. With it started yesterday, but a lot more interleague play. The Sox have got to think about, instead of the interleague play, they're 0-2 in this trip, and they have lost 4 in a row. Outfield short, around to the left. Breaking ball, no. 330 down each line, 375 in the gaps, 404 to dead away center field. Make no mistake about it. Ball just jumps out of here.
Great hitters ballpark.
Shurik making his 12th start of the season. Pete has a record of 5-4, a 5.20 ERA. Southpaw was born in Austin, Texas, now resides in Clifton, Virginia. There's a chopper. Shurik can't get there. Boone gets a nice hop, makes a nice play.
Well, talking to some Cincinnati people before the game, Brett Boone not hitting a bunch, but he has really thrown some leather at second base. Here's a good play. The only chance he had right here is to barehand. He looks a lot like his dad. And the Sox lineup sponsored by Coca-Cola. Durham, Gee, and Cameron, followed by Bell, Mouton, and Fabregas. The bottom third has Chris Snopek, Dave Martinez, and Wilson Alvarez batting tonight.
Mike Cameron takes fastball, strike outside corner. Mike hitting at 238, a homer. He has knocked in 6. Tom Hallion behind the plate as that off-speed pitch down low. Wally Bell at first. Mark Barron at second. Ed Montague at third. Those are the men in blue this evening. That's high off the plate. So the count 2-1 to Cameron. Sox, of course, lost the last 2 games of that homestand to the Baltimore Orioles and then lost the 2-game set to the Yankees in New York. That's high to right field. Mike Kelly going back, right in front of the fence. He's there. Man.
What do you think it was like trying to play the outfield when George Foster and Johnny Bench and Tony Perez were hitting here?
Well, you just had to have a neck brace is all.
Unbelievable. I'll tell you what. Here's the Reds on defense. Sanders, Goodwin, and Kelly are the outfielders. Pendleton, Larkin, Boone, and Perez in the infield. Joe Oliver and Pete Sherrick the battery tonight.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Albert Bell takes a strike from Sherrick. Albert hitting at 290, 14 homers, and 56 knocked in. Outfield bunched a bit, not equidistant, as that breaking ball, the curve misses up high. It's more of a slurve from Sherrick. Oh, the fastball, a slurve, and the change. Sherrick coming off that repaired tendon over the winter, just starting to get his velocity back. He's up to around 89, 90 right now. That's into center field. As Curtis Goodwin comes on, finally makes the catch, and that'll retire to the side. But the Sox get on the board, and after half inning of play, it's the good guys 1, and the Cincinnati Reds coming up.
One 0 White Sox, and here is Ray Knight's Cincinnati Red lineup for this evening. The top third has Deion Sanders in left field. In center, Curtis Goodwin and Terry Pendleton at third base. Middle third features Barry Larkin at shortstop, perennial all-star. Joe Oliver is behind the plate, and Brett Boone at second base. The bottom third has Eduardo Perez at first base, and right field Mike Kelly and Pete Sherrick on the mound. Here's the Sox on defense, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Bell, Cameron, and Mouton are the outfielders. Snopek, Guillen, Durham, and Martinez in the infield. George Fabregas behind the plate. Wilson Alvarez on the mound. Wilson's numbers: 3 and 6, good 3.39 earned run average, 13 starts, 1 complete game, 82 in the third inning, just 74 hits. That's good. Walks are good at 32 and 74 strikeouts.
So here's Deion Sanders. Boy, is he spread out. He almost covering the whole batter's box. I didn't know his legs were that long. As he takes first pitch strike from Alvarez. Sanders hitting at 324, a couple of homers, 14 knocked in, but he has 30 stolen bases already. Been thrown out 9 times. They tell us that he is just a dead fastball hitter.
He's going to get a lot of fastballs to hit. You want to keep him off base?
Snopek in on what would be the edge of the grass at third. As the count moves to 2-1, Dave Martinez even with a bag at first. Sanders, as Wempy told you, nursing a sore ankle, but that has not kept him from running as far as attempted stolen bases. There's a fastball. That's into left field. Albert's there. And the speedy Deion Sanders retired. So here's Curtis Goodwin hitting at 318, 1 homer and 9 knocked in. Reds hitting at 256 as a club. Sox on the other side of the page are at 278. Cincinnati with a 4.48 team ERA. The Sox with a 4.66. Both these clubs struggling. Cincinnati really crippled up for the most part all year long, injury-wise. Coming in at 26-37, 5 games back. There's a ground ball. Ozzie can't get there. So Goodwin, good speed. He is 11 for 19 in stolen bases.
Yeah, we saw Goodwin with the Orioles. I'll tell you, he's suited for this artificial surface. Just slap it on the ground. And with the infielders playing in shallow like that, he's going to get a lot of ground ball base hits. It's a great place to hit.
That'll bring up the 36-year-old veteran switch hitter, Terry Pendleton, hitting at 241, no homers, and 10 RBIs. Outfield bunching, for the most part, straight up. There's fastball strike from Wilson. Barry Larkin on deck. They were expecting upwards of 40,000 tonight, but the forecast has just been terrible. In fact, they've had a severe thunderstorm warning on the television screens all day long. And that is the forecast, thunderstorms. Reds averaging 21,570. Long set by Wilson, little glide step. 21 to count. First of 3 here in Cincinnati and first of 6 consecutive games against National League rivals. It'll be the Cubs coming to Comiskey Park Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There's a ground ball. Ozzie backs up over to Durham, who got there in a hurry. Ozzie gave him a bad throw. Took the rhythm out of the play, and then in return, Ray made a low throw to Dave Martinez, who could not turn it over. Ozzie upset with himself, and deservedly so.
Oh, yeah, this got to be turned right here. It's just giving the team another chance to score. It's a bad throw. He pulls it across his body, and Ray makes a good catch right there. Dave Martinez just can't come up with it. That was a tough pick right there because it hit just at the cut of the artificial surface and the dirt.
So here's Barry Larkin.
And Barry Larkin hitting at 309, 4 homers, 17 driven in so far in the season. He is their bona fide star. Perennial all-star. Takes a breaking ball strike. Larkin, a Cincinnati native. "13 out of his last 15 games, a .458 clip, even though he has not been healthy all season."
That heel is not going to get any better, they say, Wimpy. It is something that Tony Gwynn had it. He's got to keep all of his weight, for the most part, or as much of it as he can, throughout the swing on his right side. So it's got to be something that will be hopefully cured by surgery.
Yeah. The thing about it is playing this artificial surface. It's fun to play on, to hit on, but it makes it a lot tougher on the body.
Outfield around to the right. They say his best shots right now going into right center and center. Just can't get over to clear on that left side. 0-2 with 2 out here in the bottom of the first inning if you're just joining us. Pendleton 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Fabregas and Wilson taking a long time locking up on a sign. Now Fabs to the inside. Well, there's a shot into center field. Cameron races over, cuts it off. Pendleton now will move on into third base. So the double play that should have been turned that was not. Keeps the Reds alive here. And that'll bring up the catcher, Joe Oliver.
And he got an 0-2 fastball up and out over the plate and almost took Wilson in the center field with it. Oh, does he crush this one? See, Fabregas wants to pitch in, and it's up and out over the plate. I tell you, the Sox have done just a horrible job pitching inside this year, or trying, or yes, it just hadn't been there.
Non-existent.
Catcher sets up in, more than likely it's out over the plate.
Absolutely non-existent. Our pitching staff has been hurt immeasurably and innumerable times on pretty good pitches outside the zone. Guys just going out there, diving out, ripping them.
Well, they don't have to worry about anything inside.
No. Oliver takes strike one. That Wimpy and I were discussing before the game, checking out the stats. Again, pitching inside does not mean hitting guys. But if you do pitch inside, occasionally you're going to hit some guys. Our staff this year, our whole staff's hit 8 people.
Right.
Cincinnati's has hit 38. Ours is the lowest in the American League.
Pretty good disparity right there. Probably the lowest in baseball.
And again, not to be hitting guys, but just making them think a little bit inside. There's that pitch away, and the count 0-2. And protecting, you got to, if you're a pitcher, you got to protect part of that outside corner. I know the Sox, Mike Pasick has tried to get some of these guys to pitch in. Talked to them about it a lot of times. But it just so far has not come about.
Well, Cincinnati does lead the world in that category, 38 hit batsmen.
Oliver 6 for his last 17 with a homer and 4 RBIs. There goes the runner. That pitch fouled back. So bad heel and all, Barry Larkin, who has 12 stolen bases in 14 attempts.
What a great player he is.
Well, they also say he's just terrific. I mean, great competitor and a great guy. Talking to some of the Cincinnati people, I mean, they just love him. He understands that when he's not in that lineup, chances are the Reds are not going to win, and he's playing in pain. Not every step, obviously, but there is pain there. Got an off-speed pitch up, and that'll be a souvenir right side. Joe Oliver would like to have that 0-2 hanger back. One nothing Sox here in the bottom of the first.
Oh, Barry Larkin must really have some built-up shoes, because you know, he doesn't look like he's limping or anything, or just some great padding in there to be able to do the things that he's doing right now with that injury.
Well, they have devices now that they can tailor-make to fit the needs of almost any part of your body that's ouchy or hurting or bruised. It's wonderful. Sports medicine still, in my opinion, is just in its infancy, but light years ahead of what it was 20, 25 years ago.
I should say.
Close, didn't get it. Good fastball. So it's a ball and 2 strikes to Oliver. Runners at the corners, Pendleton at third and Larkin at first. There he goes. That pitch popped up right side. Ray Durham is there. Makes the catch, and that retires the side. Cutting across, a couple of hits, no errors, 2 left. After 1, it's the good guys leading 1-0. As you peruse our Southwest Airlines tale of the tape, Southwest Airlines for the second consecutive year voted #1. Southpaw Pete Shurik, there you see, making his 12th start. No complete games, 55 in the third, 48 hits, 40 strikeouts. As Lyle Mouton will lead it off. Takes a breaking ball strike. Lyle hitting at .346, 3 homers and 13 knocked in. We're going to show you our picks to click in just a moment. Fouls that one away, and let's check out our picks to click, brought to you by Montgomery Ward. Let me see. Oh, I tell you, Waldo's getting smoked. Skip Ellison.
Yeah.
Our producer, director, and crew went with Lyle. Been in a season-long slump, you know.
Yes, I know.
There's a shot. Larkin's got him. Change up. Lyle went out, got it, and hooked it. Hang with him. One gone. And a reminder, the Sox host the Cubs for the first time in regular season play on Monday, June 16th at 3:05. Now the first 30,000 adults ages 21 and over will receive commemorative Sox, Cubs, caps, compliments of Miller Lite. Some tickets are still available by dialing 312-831-1SOX. Sox, Cubs, caps, commemorative.
Cool.
Fabregas takes a strike. There are the numbers on George Butt in the Sox uniform. He's hitting at .241, a couple of homers with 8, as you see. Fouls it back, and the count 0-2. And if you're just tuning in, Ray Durham hit the second pitch of the ball game out of here over the left field fence for his 4th long one of the season. There's Ray. Breaking ball, and that's out number 2. Well, the first strikeout of the ball game.
Let's call this a slur. Big breaker right here. Shurik. He's a 3-pitch pitcher. You'll see a fastball, that particular breaking ball. He'll change speeds a little bit on that. You see George way out in front. And to the right-handed hitters, he'll throw some changeups.
So here's Chris Snopek. He's got a lot of friends.
Oh.
Family in attendance tonight. Hitting at .217, 4 homers, 22 knocked in. This from Harrison County, Cynthiana, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
Checks it up, pops it up. Eduardo Perez is there, makes the catch, and very quickly, 1-2-3. And after an inning and a half, 1-0 Sox. Ray Durham's homer in the top of the first inning. And since that time, Pete Shurik has retired 6 in a row as Brett Boone will lead it off. It'll be Boone, Perez, and Kelly. Brett hitting at .221, a couple of homers, 18 knocked in, and let me tell you, he has been throwing some leather for Cincinnati. In fact, some of the Reds people were telling us he's probably the best second baseman in the National League, which when we saw him, I believe them. I believe them if they say it.
Yeah.
He certainly was nowhere near that in the American League.
No.
They say he has really worked hard and improved his game. 2-0 the count. It's 3-0.
Well, Boone is starting to hit some now. You see Piazza leading the National League in the month of June. The Shield. Walker, what new about Walker?
So the leadoff walk, the dreaded leadoff walk. And as Eduardo Perez comes up, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
Along with the Wimperoo, the Duke, Big Bob, Tom Paciorek, Ken Harrelson from Synergy Field. in Cincinnati. A little history being made tonight with the Sox in their first interleague play. Boone 4 for 7 in stolen bases. As he pours a fastball over the outside half. Wimpy, as we were talking about earlier, I for one just love it. I think it's way too long and coming.
I think it's great coming to Cincinnati, meeting all these nice people, seeing some old friends. I hadn't been here in 20 years. Marty Brenneman's still here, Joe Nuxall. Of course, they were old 20 years ago. Now they're real old. A lot of wonderful people here. You got to see your old friend.
Oh, yeah.
Savannah.
John Leach. Had a beautiful off day here yesterday. The weather was great. Played a great golf course at Traditions in Burlington, Kentucky.
Woo. Great place.
0-1. As he's tardy on that fastball, 0-2. Now you talk, here's Marty Brenneman.
Look.
No, that's not Joe.
Well,
There's Joe in the back.
He's just a hunk of burning love, that guy.
15 years old when he made his Major League debut.
That's right. He's a lot older than that now. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're beautiful.
Long set, the 0-2 pitch. Another souvenir. Well, the interleague play certainly is. You got to jump start it, kick start it someplace, and this is the way to do it. Get a chance to see some great players in the National League. Well, people in Chicago certainly have the option, but a lot of people around the other leagues don't. The other cities, especially the opportunity to see Ken Griffey Jr., who's a tremendous draw. As that pitch misses down low and the count 1-2. But I think it's just a forerunner to what we're going to have maybe 15, 20 years from now, Wimpy, where you're going to have different alignments, maybe even sooner, with the national pastime being enhanced. Not changed, enhanced.
I agree. Well, I know it's gone under some criticism from traditional baseball people, as they like to be referred to. I just think this is great.
Well,
seeing the National League players.
I want you to do me a favor. Think about all the people that we have heard. Most of them, as Izzy's going to come in and talk with Wilson now, most of them have been, that I've read about her, have been from the media.
Yes,
okay?
Absolutely.
Now, name me one person, so-called, quote-quote, traditionalist, that signs any checks.
I cannot
come up
answer
with
that. No.
There have been a whole bunch of them who cash checks, right, coming from baseball. So those people who continually talk about being traditionalists, as far as I'm concerned, they're all full of BS.
Maybe they have nothing to gain.
That ball gets away from Abregas. So now Brett Boone will have to go back to second as fan interference. That meeting didn't work out too well.
No, just everything is out of sync right now. As soon as the guy gets on base, I mean, we go into the four corners. I mean, it's like a delay of game should be called. And now there's another meeting on the mound, and it's just everything's out of kilter. We've seen it time and time again this year.
There you see wild pitches. We're on top of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Well, at least, as you mentioned in between commercial breaks, at least we'll have a chance when we're out there to get all our drop-ins and promos in.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a ground ball. They got a shot at him. Go get him. Yes, they will. Bad play by Brett Boone.
Yeah, there's no way he could have beat that one. That ball was hit hard, and Ozzie had to play right in front of him. He didn't get far enough towards third base. even the ball did pass him on the left. Got a pretty good jump right there. But no, he didn't get it by the ball.
No.
Ball's on his right.
He just got hung out there,
yeah.
dry in no man's land.
Boy, first out of the inning at third base. Thank you.
So here's Mike Kelly hitting a 205, a homer, and he's knocked in 6. There's a strike on the outside corner. And a reminder, the Minnesota Twins come to Comiskey Park on Friday, June 20th at 7:05. First 15,000 fans will receive radios courtesy of your radio home for White Sox baseball AM 1000. So for tickets, just dial 312-831 1-SOX. That's in the hole. Ozzie backhands. Now is not going to be able to make a play at first. Infield single for Kelly.
Oh, Ozzie had a lot of trouble. He couldn't get anything on this throw. Had some trouble finding the handle on it. Kelly runs good, though. He was going to beat that out anyway, and it's nice to see Pete Schurik up at the plate.
Dave Martinez knew exactly what was happening right there. Just forget about it. Come off the bag. Make sure you knock that baseball down, as now Ozzie is jockeying in behind Eduardo Perez. So here's Schurik hitting at 176 on the season with a homer. Bunts it foul. I tell you, I for one, you know, when the DH first came in, I loved it. I really did. I for one wish that whatever rules they want to go to, both leagues go back to the same rule, you know.
Yeah, me too.
I don't, you know, I'd rather see the pitcher in the ball game at the plate. I think it adds a lot to the game. But if they don't want to do that, to just have both leagues under the same rules.
Yeah.
Snowpeck. So to sacrifice 5-4. And with 2 out, here comes Deion Sanders. He applied to his counterpart, Albert Bell. I'm sure they're not, but in that uniform, he really looks like he's got spindly legs.
Yeah. Well, he's got those socks up so high, like the old-time players. I think Deion's wearing them as a reminder of Jackie Robinson and all the wonderful things he's done for baseball.
Wilson knocks it down. Got to hurry. He can run.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Good play by Wilson Alvarez, saving 2 runs on that smash off the bat of Deion Sanders. And after 2, it's 1-0 good guy.
And no, he's second. Sorry.
Dave Martinez to lead off the top of the 3rd inning. 1 run on 1 hit for the Sox. That breaking ball misses. Pete Schurik, the southpaw, threw that 1st inning homer to Ray Durham. Wilson Alvarez on deck. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Boy, Boy, he reminds you a little bit of a left-handed Andres Galarraga, doesn't he?
I was thinking Bambino.
There's that shot off the bat of Deion Sanders. I'll tell you what, that was a rocket. He's flying, and Wilson makes a good play. Up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Hang with him, Deion.
2-run single.
Yeah.
Taken away. Breaking ball, and the count goes full. Get on so he can bunt.
Please. Actually, Wilson might be the best hitting pitcher we have.
Why do you say that?
Because he hit the most homers.
That's into left field. Sanders is there. One gone.
In batting practice, that is. Yeah, he would have to hit off a lefty, too.
Yeah.
When was the last time Wilson said he hit when he was 13?
I don't know, but I know one thing. The secret to winning in the National League, if you're a pitcher, is go 0 for 4, or preferably 0 for 5.
Yeah, that's true. Boy,
That means you're going to hang around for a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. And be able to bunt and field your position, too. Very important.
Look
Hello.
at this. Is he awesome? Look at Larkin. Doug Rader down there almost laughing on his knees. Oh, boy. What a great play by Larkin. But Wilson, I tell you what, he was running as hard as he could. He just couldn't get there.
Yeah. He's not used to that. I think Deion would have beaten that throw. Look at Larkin. Is he something else? Backhand. He's in left field. Now he's got to submarine it as he's jumping. He makes an accurate throw. That's unreal. I'll tell you. Well, Wilson would have had some bragging rights there, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would have.
Wow.
So here's Ray Durham.
You think that might make a few highlight films tonight?
The only way you can do it, though, is to have the clock on, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I'd like to see what it took.
A while.
No.
And with that first inning home run by Ray Durham, another $25,000 goes to fund Cap Cure's mission of finding a cure for prostate cancer. If you'd like to learn more about Cap Cure and receive important information about prostate cancer, just call 1-800-547-CURE. $25,000. The next couple of days for every home run hit in the big league.
That's good. Have you
great.
been getting your testing done?
Yes, once a year.
Yeah, me too. Don't ever forget it.
There's a strike in the count, 3-2.
Because, you know, you're getting up there in age.
A little long in the tooth.
Yes, very much so. And I wanted to ask you, too, what kind of guys were those Cincinnati Reds back in 1990? Were they good guys?
Yeah, so-so, you know. Here's a payoff pitch. Chopper, one hopper. Perez has got him. Goes to the bag, and that'll do it. Another 1-2-3 inning. Is retired 9 in a row. After 2.5, 1-0 good guy. That's the story here as you check out our tail of the tape. 1-0 bottom of the third. Curtis Goodwin will lead it off. As Wilson pours a fastball over. Goodwin, a little single, back in the first inning. Outfield shading him around over there. Snowpeck in on the artificial surface. As there's a curveball strike. So very quickly, the count 0-2.
You think Wilson could beat Ed Farmer in a race?
Close. I'll bet on Wilson.
I would, too.
He's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. See what that inside fastball will do. I'll tell you, he could not get his hands in. Especially when you're protecting on the outside corner with 2 strikes. Just a good fastball on the inside corner completely tied him up. He got a pitch out over the plate. His first time up was able to single. Not here, baby.
Here's Pendleton hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice. That's into right field. Lyle Mouton, can of corn. Can of knockwurst here in Cincinnati. 2 down, and a reminder the Sox close out their historic 3-game series against the Cubs on Wednesday, June 18th at 7:05. And all fans in attendance will receive Sox Cubs commemorative pins courtesy of Gatorade. All the good folks at Gatorade. So for tickets, dial 312-831-1-SOX. Bill Schmidt. Just got married, I believe, this spring or the winter. Good guy. Larkin takes strike 1. Boy, he smoked. I mean, he had a pea in the center field for a base hit. 0-2 fastball. That's into right center field. Nobody's going to get this one. Cameron fields it cleanly, gets it back in. So the 2-out double by Barry Larkin.
If there's one guy that in a situation that Wilson Alvarez or any White Sox pitcher is going to have to go around in this series, here he is. Barry Larkin got a curveball. This one's on the inside corner, and he just inside outs it, hands before the barrel of the bat, and rips it in that gap in right center. You were saying, Hawk, he's not able to pull the ball because of those injuries. I'll tell you, he's still a dangerous hitter.
Well, Larkin sits in the same seat in the Reds lineup, going around, as you alluded to, as Albert does in ours.
Yep.
Here's Joe Oliver. Popped up to Durham. Gas. Gas.
Stay right there.
0-2. Just did get a piece of it. Oliver out of Boone High School in Orlando, Florida. He was teammates with Ron Karkovice on that club.
Yeah.
Upstairs. In fact, Joe and I have the same barber down in Orlando.
You do?
Yeah. There's Cart.
Is it like a coiffure shop?
No. Just Bob
Barber
and Barb.
shop has got the pole.
Bob and Barb, and there's just 2 of them in there. They're great.
I think that's wonderful that you can have a relationship with your barber.
It is, you know. That's a little bonding. Is it wrong?
No.
The 2-2. Quicker swing right there by Joe.
There's a happy camper.
Pops this one up. That'll be out of play over the Cincinnati dugout. And a reminder, our next game coming your way right here over WGN will be Monday. It'll be at 3 o'clock. Beautiful Comiskey Park, first of that 3-game set with the Cubs. And the pitchers, Jamie Navarro against Kevin Foster. Monday at 3 right here over WGN. More history being made. Full count. And the payoff. Change up. Had him out in front. He had just a hair more off of that. He's gone. But he didn't. And he's still there. But not quite as many as we had earlier. Murky looking skies. Forecast of severe thunderstorms. He walks him, had him 0-2. Second walk issued by Alvarez, and that'll bring up Brett Boone. Brett drew the first walk, leading off last inning. And if you're just tuning in, Ray Durham led off the ball game with his 4th homer of the year. 1-0 pitch right over the left field fence. There's the strike. Maybe you didn't come in on the bus. They were showing us where you could see the water line where the floods hit here.
Yeah.
Underneath. Must have been 12, 15 feet high.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Wow.
All underneath the stadium.
Whew.
Fouls that pitch away, so the count 0-2 to Boone.
Well, the one thing about Brett Boone that he really hasn't changed is his hitting style. I just think his swing is too long for the type of hitter he is. He's got that bat pointed almost straight down his back, and then he drops his hands, and by the time he gets up to the hitting zone, hey, a guy with real good stuff is going to be very tough to get to from that position that he puts himself in.
The 0-2. He was on that fastball. Well, when he was in the American League, he was younger, obviously, but still, I loved his style. I thought he was very aggressive up there. I thought his timing action, he does have a lot of movement, as Wimpy was just talking about.
Anybody drops his hands that much.
Well, the thing about it is guys like that, as a rule, usually go in streaks, become streak hitters. I'll tell you what, he's got some pop. Fouls that pitch away. Breaking ball, and the count hangs at 0-2. I know when he was with Seattle, he just swung hard in case he hit it.
That's right. Well, you know, he's already got 2 home runs this season. He's swinging hard in case he hits it. I'll tell you what. And in this ballpark, I think some adjustments have got to be made. I really do. I mean, you know, that's just my opinion of watching Brett. He's a hard-nosed player. You love the way his approach to the game. I just don't think he's ever going to hit this way.
Yes, he's gone. Second strikeout. 2 more stranded by the Reds, and after 3, it's 1-0 Sox. Top of the 4th inning, 1-0. Good guys. And let's check out tonight's Aflac trivia question. As Pete Sherrick gets ready to tee it up against Ozzie Guillen. And here it is. Poof, who is the only player in Major League history to record a hit with 2 different teams on the same calendar date?
Whoa, is that tough?
Ozzie, that's fair. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
Why don't you give the fans a hint, Hawk?
He's in the ballpark, Bob. Big Bob.
Thank you.
And he's wearing a red and white uniform.
Is he?
Yeah. Here's Mike Cameron. He had what appeared to be just a pop-up Took Mike Kelly back almost against the fence in right field. Still not as good as Oriole Park.
You think that's a landmarker over there?
I tell you, Oriole Park, Camden Yards. Man. That's into right center field. Mike Kelly got the bead, just tracking it back on the 375 mark. 2 gone. Well, here comes Albert. And a reminder, you can get the cap the pros wear at the New Era Cap Corner located in the left field corner of the Comiskey Park main concourse. Just stop by the New Era Cap Corner on Friday, June 20th between 7 and 8:30 p.m. and meet former White Sox outfielder Jerry Harrelson. Jerry Harrelson. He could hit. Here's Albert. He lined out to center field. Curtis Goodwin. Nice strike on the outside corner by Paciorek. Paciorek in his career has won 50 times. He has lost 42. Opposition hitting just .230 against him this year. One and two the count. One area that he has had some problems with, though. He has thrown 13 homers. And this is 13th start. Two and two. I'll tell you what, the more we see Albert, as you look at it, he is second in the league behind Kevin Foster, Leiter, Park. Full count. Albert's one of those guys you don't want to let him see 5 or 6 pitches in that bat.
No, because he's filing them all.
If you do, you better make an outstanding pitch on him, and that's what he's got to do right here. The payoff. That's a high ball 4.
I'm sure that won't break Pete Shurek's heart. 2-out walk to Albert Bell.
Well, this really seems to be a nice town. You said it's been 20 years since you've been here. It's been 26 years since I've been here. Good baseball town.
Yes.
And make him get it down, Lyle. Lyle lined hard. I mean, real hard to Larkin. Got a change up, went out and hooked it. Cincinnati Reds. Pours that one over very quickly to count 0-2.
Yeah, Shurek looks like he's going to be a tough guy to steal on, too. Very quick to home plate. Yeah, I remember coming into this ballpark with the Braves in the 70s and having to just get creamed by the Reds teams. The Big Red Machine, I'll tell you, going to be very difficult to duplicate that offensive. Man, that was something. Rose, Morgan, Bench, Perez, George Foster, Ken Griffey Sr., Dave Concepcion, and Cesar Geronimo. That's good. That was a good lineup.
Anybody else you want to throw in there? You done?
let's see. Harry the Cat Brackeen.
When did Joel Youngblood? He wasn't one on that.
He may have been a reserve.
Yeah. Yes, he's gone upstairs. And that'll do it. That's the second strikeout for Paciorek, and after 3.5, he trails it 1-0. Ray Durham's first inning homer, the only run in this ball game. It'll be Perez, Kelly, and Paciorek to face Wilson Alvarez. Eduardo hit into a 6-5 fielder's choice. Sox caught a break back in the second. Red Boone led off with a walk, went to second on a wild pitch. As there's a fastball strike outside corner. And Eduardo hit a hard one-hopper to Ozzie that Boone got caught out there. Tried to make it in the third, and they got him easily. But the Reds have stranded 2 each inning. Sox stranding their first runner last inning. Paciorek, after that first inning homer to Durham, retired 11 in a row. That's into left field. Albert, he's there. And let's check out our Aflac trivia question and answer. Who is the only player in Major League history to record a hit with 2 different teams on the same calendar date? The answer is Joel Youngblood. 2 pretty good pitchers.
Yeah, Fergie and Lefty. Woo. And poof.
There he is at third base. Ron Oster at first. Outfield straight up. It's back, souvenir time. Mike Kelly, an infield single in the second inning. Snowpeck, gotta hurry. Long peg in time. They just do get him. Round number 2. So here's the pitcher, Pete Paciorek. Had a sacrifice bunt in the second. So he used to come in and get beat up by the Big Red Machine and leave, huh?
Yeah. You know, 3.
There's a tough hop. Ozzie, a good play, yes. Beautiful play on a tough hop. And that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Alvarez, his first of the ball game. We'll go to the 5th. 1-0 good guys. Southwest Airlines time show you that it's 1-0 Sox. It will be Fabregas, Snowpeck, and Dave Martinez to face the southpaw Pete Paciorek. Well, on the off day yesterday, it was just, I tell you, the Sox, I believe, really needed that. You know, trying to calm down after the loss of Big Frank. Frank took batting practice tonight. First time around, did not swing the bat that well. Second time around, a little more like the Big Hurt. First time around, looked like he was just pushing it.
Well, there's got to be a fear factor in there, too.
Right.
Every
Well,
time you swing, wait a second, is it going to hurt? Am I going to make it worse?
That's exactly
Is there anything you can wear there to hold that stuff in?
You mean like a girdle?
Yeah, like a gizmo, something, you know, kind you wear. A corset.
I'll give him one of mine, you know. Might be a little big for him, but I'll give him one of mine.
He can wrap it around twice.
Yeah, right. There's a Big Hurt. Boy, it's just killing him not to be in there. That's out of play. 1-2 the count. And a reminder, ComEd presents a magnificent Field of Dreams themed fireworks display immediately following the Saturday June 21st Sox game against the Twins. Game time is 6:05, and tickets are available by dialing 312-8311-SOX. Sam Skinner and all the good folks at ComEd. Upstairs, round number 1.
Boy, he's throwing that high fastball now. Paciorek is. He's got that nice, easy delivery, and he's getting a lot of hitters to go fishing. Struck out Mouton on this very same pitch. That is shoulder height.
So here's Chris. Check swing, pop-up, and he fouled out to Eduardo Perez. And that's off the plate. Energy Field, a seating capacity of a little over 52,000. There's a strike on the corner. Good atmosphere tonight.
Yeah.
That's another thing I like about the interleague play. You got, prior to the game, it's very festive, and also I'll tell you what I really like to see as well. The number of youngsters outside the hotel.
There were a bunch last 2 days.
That is good to see. And again, the interleague play. That's high in the left field. He just missed this.
Yes, he did.
Dion.
Now, that's the closest anybody has gotten to getting on top of a high Pete Paciorek fastball. And Chris Snopek just missed it just in front of that 375 sign.
Back to youngsters outside the hotel. Most I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Nice people, too. Most of them had their folks with them. Just so courteous.
Family, right.
Yeah. It was fun talking to them.
Again, last night, it seemed like the whole ball club was over at this beautiful restaurant called Montgomery Inn on the waterfront, on the river.
Well, they had some sports memorabilia there, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Woo!
Dave Martinez takes upstairs. But I'd like to see it because almost all the guys were over there. We got to get something going here. We have lost 4 in a row. 5 games back.
You're right. Do something, will you?
I tried to yesterday, you know.
What?
The rough was too tough.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, tough rough. How about John Leach and his lovely family? Oh, there's that Central Division standings. Cleveland 3 ahead of Milwaukee, then Kansas City, the Sox, and Minnesota.
Well, I'll tell you what, nobody wants it.
No, not yet.
That's ball 4. So the 2-out walk, and that's nice because that means that Wilson will not lead off. The 6th inning. Wilson grounded out in the hole. I mean, a sure base hit until Barry Larkin went over and Wilson just chugging. Man, I mean, he was chugging down that line. Fast as his little legs would take him.
He was the little engine that couldn't.
Right. He just couldn't get there in time, you know. Takes the strike.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you what, this is liable to be good for our guys, just to let them see
Yeah.
how hard it is to hit a major league fastball. And there's the major league hook.
Yeah, you're right.
So that'll do it. Halfway home, 1-0 White Sox. 1-0 Sox here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the defensive play of this ball game thus far has been made by Wilson Alvarez. Here it was in the 2nd. And on 2nd, 3rd, a high curveball. Look at the play. Knocks it down. Deion Sanders is absolutely just getting it down the line. And he just did nip it. He didn't get a glove on it. It's 2-1 Cincinnati. So here is Deion. His fly to left. And then robbed of a 2-run single by Wilson. So the major league leader in stolen bases takes strike one.
Yeah, you got to keep this guy off base, especially in a close ball game.
And especially in a game like this, too, where he gets fired up.
Oh, yeah. You know, a lot of national attention. He wants to do great here.
Right. Good rip at a fastball.
I'll tell you, I've always liked the way Deion Sanders swung the bat, even when he was with the Yankees and he didn't hit much at all. So much talent. One of the best athletes alive.
Yeah, you could see he definitely had a chance if he played.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that little man's got that wide a stance. Almost.
Yeah.
Well, proportionally speaking, that's probably the widest, certainly, of anybody we've got in the American League.
Well, Deion is 6'1", 196, according to the program. He doesn't look that big.
And he's spread out there like Ken Seiko and those guys.
Yeah. Rudy Long was that wide.
Yeah, it was, Rudy.
Can't stride. You got to use those hands.
You can, but if you do, you can't swing the bat.
That's right. Or you fall down.
Pull a groin. Chopper. Fair. High throw, but Dave comes down and puts it on him. I'll tell you, Deion right there could have hung out Dave Martinez to dry.
Yeah.
And right now, let's take a look at who's cleaning up in baseball, brought to you by Hoover. Not only is Deion Sanders 7th in the National League in hits, he also leads the major leagues in stolen bases with those 30. There you see Knobloch. And Hunter, look at that, 27. Nixon, 27. And Tom Goodwin, 26. Here's Curtis Goodwin. And in between innings, the groundskeeper went out to talk to the umpires. And they started looking up the sky, so that's not good.
That's true.
The best thing about that scenario is that right now we've got the lead. One and two the count.
Excuse me, Hawk. Let's just not let Larkin hit this inning.
Don't tell me, Wimpy.
Tell them. They can't hear me.
Tell Ray Knight. Two balls, two strikes.
Well, looking at the way Goodwin stands at the plate with those hands down low, I got to think he can't hit Wilson's good fastball. He tied him up real good when the last time up, struck him out. I'd like to see him do the same thing right here.
Chopper up the middle. So a good one, 2 for 3. Both of them going just out of the reach of Ozzie.
Didn't get this one in there. Fabregas wanted that fastball inside. Got too much of the plate. He was able to get the barrel of the bat on it. On that artificial surface, you hit it on the ground and you can run. You got a real good chance to get yourself a hit.
So here's Pendleton. 0 for 2. A fielder's choice and a flyout. Goodwin has 11 thefts, but he has been thrown out 8 times. There you see they're leading.
Wow.
The National League. Cardinals, Rockies. Buccos running and the Bravos are running.
Well, the Bravos are doing some of everything.
They got him picked off. Go get him, Dave. One throw. There you go.
Wow.
2 down. Sox have 51 stolen bases. He's trying to get a Lance Johnson lead right here.
Yeah, pretty much. Wilson looking right at him, and he's going as soon as he picks his leg up. First move, but Wilson very alertly throws to Martinez. David charges, and then the toss to Ozzie.
Snow peck, long peg, and time. Piece of cake, and it'll do it. So we have completed 5. It's official in a 1-0 Sox lead.
For today's Discover Payback Playback, you'll have to set the Wayback Machine to 1919 when these two teams met in the World Series. The Reds defeated the White Sox 5-3, and in the wake of that loss, 8 Sox players were indicted for throwing the World Series. And even though a jury acquitted them, Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis banned them for life. That's your historical Discover Payback Playback. And we are in the 6th inning here at Synergy Field in Cincinnati. That was 1919, our Discovery Payback Playback. Ray Durham takes the breaking ball to count even at 1. He's done a nice job tonight. It's Tom Hallion. He has gone unnoticed today behind the plate. Home plate umpire. Pitch is outside. 2-1 on Ray. Ray with the only Sox hit. There's Tom Hallion, Wally Bell, Mark Barron, and Ed Montague over at third base.
That's the greatest thing can happen to an umpire.
That's right.
Is to go unnoticed. When you don't notice the men in blue, they have done a wonderful job.
Who's done a good job is Pete Shurik. Since that second pitch of the ball game was hit out of the ballpark by Ray Durham, just barely making it out of the reach of Deion Sanders. He's been tough. Fastball misses away. Looks like he's really picked up the velocity on that fastball too, Hawk. Throwing a lot of pitches upstairs, and Sox hitters have not been able to catch up with it. There's a backdoor breaking ball. So Shurik gets another strikeout. That's number 5. In the first inning, the second pitch of the ball game was a low fastball down and in. You see Deion couldn't really time his jump right there. Here's Ozzie Guillen, 1 out, fakes the bunt, takes the ball up and away.
Well, if you're going to throw 89, 90 like Shurik is, building that velocity back up, coming off the elbow surgery to repair the tendon. It wasn't a transplant, it was a repair.
Right.
And he's a short armor. Boy, you get those guys that throw 90 who's short arming it, you just add a couple more. That's trouble. That's a good base hit by Ozzie.
All right. A couple of walks have been mixed in, but Shurik has really been tough. Of course, the Sox in that last ball game against New York were 0 for 13 by that relief corps of the New York Yankees.
That did the job. That was a coup de grace.
Yeah, it was. Great job. Ramiro Mendoza was terrific in that ball game, and Mariano Rivera closed it out. Here's Mike Cameron, a couple of flyouts. Backdoor breaking ball catches the outside corner, 0-1. Well, Shurik's best year was 1995, 18-7 for the Reds with a 3.22 earned run average. That's real good. 160 strikeouts and 190 innings of work. So he was one of the better pitchers in the National League, and of course last year with that arm problem, worked in just 12 games. There's one downstairs. But as Hawk mentioned earlier, Shurik has won his last 3 starts, so he's getting stronger. And this injury-riddled Cincinnati ball club, they've got some talent. Got a guy like Reggie Sanders out. Larkin's been hurt. Hal Morris not in the lineup. There's a foul right side. And that'll be out of play. And let's pause now for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
Back at Synergy Field in Cincinnati with Ken Harrelson, Tom Paciorek. One out, one runner on here in the top of the 6th inning. Rain has been threatening all day in Cincinnati, but we have not had any tonight. And it's Wilson Alvarez against Pete Shurik, a good pitcher's battle. Cameron hitting at 233. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball. Ooh, that one just misses. Quick throw by Oliver, and Ozzie gets back. Yeah, Hal Morris hitting just 250. And there's a guy you got to count on to hit 300. Not so in 97. Shurik, the soft toss over to first. The Reds have out-hit the Sox 5-2. And of course, the two big plays in this ball game, Ray Durham's homer to lead the game off, and the play by Wilson Alvarez on Deion Sanders, preventing 2 runs from scoring. Fastball upstairs. He fouls it back. Shurik's throwing. He's throwing 90 miles an hour tonight. They said early in spring training, really scuffling in the low 80s, but he's gotten that arm strength back. Here's the 2-2 pitch coming up to Cameron. Ooh, changeup, good arm action, and Mike just got a piece of that, fouls it off at home plate. Talk about tough left-handers. Randy Johnson's got 120 strikeouts this year for Seattle. That's good. Breaking ball. Boone to second. Nice play to Larkin. They can't turn it, but that was a heck of an effort. Wow.
That was silk right there. Red Boone. Man, he got great possession. Got rid of that ball in a heartbeat. Now, you're not going to get Mike Cameron on this, but I'll tell you, they did everything they possibly could. Watch how quickly he gets this ball to Larkin. Perfect feed.
Yeah. How about the great position he got to field that ball? Everything was wide open so he could make that good throw. Wow. That was just a terrific effort. Most of the guys in this league are out on that play at first base, too. Throw that leather. So Albert Bell takes a fastball strike on the outer half. Albert flied out to center and walked. He's hitting at 289 as he stands in. 14 homers, 56 runs batted in. And Lau Mouton will hit if Albert can reach. Joe Oliver, whoa! Called timeout, and Shurik was ready to deliver.
No, he'd already called it. Albert was out of the box.
Yeah?
Shurik just didn't know it.
The outfield very deep. They're bunched. Giving him the lines, especially in right field. Takes the breaking ball down low. 1-1 on Bell. Mike Cameron is 7 for 7, but with a left-handed combination of Pete Shurik and Joe Oliver, plus Albert Bell at the plate, unlikely that he'll go here. Got a very short lead. Misses the outside corner. Yeah, I like this Tom Hallion.
I do too.
He's calling a high strike, and he's calling it over the plate. Two-one pitch coming up to Bell. Inside strike. Good pitch by Shurik. He popped it in there. Very quick throw by Oliver. And Cameron just gets back.
Well, Hallion sets up nice behind the catcher.
So deuces are wild. 2-2 pitch, 2 out. And that fastball taken up and away. 3-2. Cameron will be off with the pitch. And Oliver goes out to have a chat with his pitcher. Boy, another big injury problem the Reds have is their closer, Jeff Brantley. Had arthroscopic surgery just Wednesday on his right shoulder to repair his labrum and a tear in the posterior capsule. And to clean up
what was his problem again?
Frayed rotator cuff. Do you believe that? He'll be out for 8 to 12 weeks. And don't ask me to repeat that. His labrum. And a tear in the posterior capsule of his shoulder.
Oh, and you said posterior, not posterior.
Yeah. Either or, you can say either. It's like tomatoes and tomatoes.
Oh, that's potatoes, potatoes?
Yeah. Now you got it.
Oh, man,
you got to write a song about that, you know?
You just segued right into that, didn't you?
That'd be a snappy tune. Maybe a funky tune. Perez is behind the runner. He's off. Albert skies this one. Get out of here. That was a high fastball. He tried to get on top.
He almost got there.
He almost did. I'll tell you what, if that pitch is about 6 inches lower, he might have really killed that one.
What are you going to throw him right here, Big Bob?
I think I'm going to go back with a fastball.
I think I might have to throw him a little change right here.
Change would be good. We'll see. He's setting up away. Fastball hit deep to right field, way back to the wall. It's gone. A 2-run homer by Albert Bell. He got a fastball out over the plate and smoked it over the 375 sign. The Sox lead it 3-0. Wow, that's good hitting.
I'm surprised they came with 2 straight fastballs.
Yeah.
Especially one in the strike zone. I am happy they did it.
Thank you very much. He got just a little bit too much of that plate.
Yeah.
And look at the good effort by Mike Kelly. And with that home run by Albert Bell, another $25,000 goes to the fund CapCure's mission of finding a cure for prostate cancer. If you'd like to learn more about CapCure and receive important information about prostate cancer, call 1-800-547-CURE. That way, Albert. Helping 2 causes there. So it's 3-0 good guys. The 1-1 to Mouton takes it inside with a fastball. And for Bell, that is his 15th homer. He now has driven in 58. Ooh, backdoor curveball got him. 2-2. Sox now with 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 of them long ones. The Reds 0-5-0. He wants it away. He got him on another high fastball. Second time he's done that to Lyle. But the Sox come up with 2 runs on 2 hits, leave no one, and after 5.5 lead it 3-0. Well, there's a good-looking young Cincinnati Red fan. He's got not a whole lot to cheer about right now. It's 3-0 Sox. We're going to sign you anyway, buddy. About another 12 years or so. Albert Bell, a 2-run homer last inning on a 3-2 fastball by Pete Shurik. So here's Barry Larkin leading things off for the Reds. Takes a fastball up high. Barry 2 for 2 has scalded the ball twice, a single and a double, hitting at .316. There's a fastball. Scott Sullivan warming in the Reds bullpen down the right field line. Well, you don't see bullpens over there anymore, do you?
No.
Fastball misses. Did I ever tell you about the time they made me go down to the bullpen in Montreal?
Yes.
Well, a lot of people may have not have heard that story. It was in left field, and I put the full catching gear on. I don't want to hit off this guy, by the way, Submariner. There's a strike. 2-2 on Larkin. And I looked like I was lost. Ball was coming right out of the fans. They were stopping play every other pitch. Real tough to do that. That's a thankless job. That's the end of the story. Meanwhile, the 2-2 pitch coming up to Larkin. Comes inside, jammed him, pop up middle of the infield. Good pitch by Wilson. Yeah. Chris Nopek makes the play, and there's one gone.
And a reminder, on Friday, June 20th, White Sox starting pitcher Jamie Navarro is scheduled to sign autographs in the White Sox clubhouse shop in Oak Brook Mall from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So far, information, just call the clubhouse shop in Oak Brook Mall at 630-990-0459.
Here's Joe Oliver. Joe walked and popped out in his 2 plate appearances. Oh, good change right there, way out in front. Another changeup, kind of gave that one away in his delivery. So the count 1-1 on Oliver, who's batting at .302 as he stands in. He's platooning with Ed Taubensee behind the plate. Misses outside. 2-1. We are in the 6th inning at Synergy Field. A 3-0 White Sox lead. Although the Sox have been out hit 5-3. 2 long balls, the difference in this contest. Plus the pitching of Wilson Alvarez. That one misses. 3-1. There's a shot up the middle. Ozzie quickly to his left, gets up and throws him out. Nice play by Ozzie Guillen. 2 up, 2 down in the red 6th.
Ozzie gets a good jump right here. Ball hit hard by Oliver.
So 2 gone, and Brett Boone the hitter. Brett, a strikeout victim his last time up there. He walked in the 2nd inning. So he's 0 for 1, takes a fastball in the outside corner. Good pitch by Wilson. He's popping it in there 90-mile-an-hour plus tonight. Curveball changeup is what he features. Same pitches that his counterpart, Pete Schurik, throws, and that pitch is upstairs. Brett, the son of Kansas City manager Bob Boone, and the grandson of Ray Boone, whom I used to watch play. Ooh, good heater. Ooh, right on by. 1-2. Has not allowed a run in his last 13 2/3 innings of work. That's good. 8 shutout innings against Baltimore his last start. Earned run average going down, down, down. Curveball. Fish ain't biting. 2-2. Eduardo Perez is on deck. Sox are deep in the outfield for Boone, kind of bunching him, giving him the lines. That's pretty much the way you want to play on these artificial surfaces. Take away those extra base hits in the gaps. Change, he got him. Nice arm action. Best changeup Wilson has thrown tonight. So he has his second 1-2-3 inning, and after 6, the Sox lead it 3-0. Top of the 7th inning from Synergy Field. The Sox lead it 3-0. Wilson Alvarez has been dazzling. And in to play second base is Pokey Reese. He'll bat in Brett Boone's spot because Ray Knight has made a double switch with the pitcher. Scott Sullivan 1-1 with a 3.27 earned run average comes on 12 relief appearances. He has worked 22 innings, 20 hits, 10 walks, 22 strikeouts. So he's done a good job for the Reds. Hey, the numbers of their relief pitchers, Hawk, are real good. 6'4", 210-pounder from Tuscaloosa. Oh, fastball strike. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I did tell you why the Alabama elephant went to the dentist, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because it's Tuscaloosa. Interesting, they make this move. Obviously, there's a pitch count on Schurik. That's a pretty good fastball. Misses 1-1. Well, Pete Schurik.
Also, Reese is going to hit in Schurik's spot, which will be the third hitter of the inning. So all of a sudden now you're getting an extra bat in there before it gets too late. One of the things I like about the National.
Yeah.
You got to use more strategy. There's no question about that.
Yeah, Schurik walked 2 while striking out 6. Gave up 2 long ones, though. And that has done the damage. There's Don Gullett. Well, he was a hard-throwing left-hander. Pitching coach for the Reds, and Ray Knight, their skipper. Ooh, that's a good fastball. Right on the inside corner. He punches him out. Boy, this guy's got a pretty good arm. I mean, a real good arm.
Well, usually guys who throw from where Sullivan's throwing it are not hard throwers. Pretty quick.
He just froze him. So Scott Sullivan strikes out the first batter he faces. Pokey Reese, by the way, is a 23-year-old second baseman from Columbia, South Carolina. #1 draft choice of the Reds. Back in 1991. There's Pokey. Real name Calvin. I love that name. Nicknames are great.
You want me to give you one?
No, thanks. I've got enough. I like other guys to have nicknames. There's a drive, left center field, deep. Dion on his horse. Back to the warning track, and Snowpack just denied again for the second consecutive time. Oh, that would have been fun for the fans from Cynthiana.
He's just missed 2 of them.
Yep. Well, he sent Dion back there for the second consecutive at bat. So Davey Martinez will bat. And Wilson Alvarez getting his helmet, getting ready for his appearance to the plate if Martinez can reach. David, a walk and a line out in his 2 appearances so far. Strike on the outside corner. Oh, it's different hitting 8th in the National League than it is in the American. A lot of times you got to be taking some pitches in order to get that pitcher to the plate so he doesn't have to lead off the next inning. The 0-1 pitch. Change up down low. Reds. Oh, Mike Kelly way off the line. He's in front of that 375 sign in right center field. Goodwin almost straight up in center, and Dion towards the line and left. Pitch fouled off, out of play. 1-2 on Martinez. Boston leading the Mets. How about that? The Boston Red Sox leading the Mets at Shea 5-2 there in the 6th inning. Rangers 2-1 over San Francisco in the 3rd at the ballpark in Arlington. There's a little grounder. Papa Jack, can he make the plate? No. Denied. What a fan will do. A fan makes an error. 2 errors on 1 play. I don't believe it. And good. A youngster gets it. So everybody's happy. Martinez grounded. There's Pokey. Throws him out. A 1-2-3 inning for Sullivan. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Sox lead it 3-0. Time now for our Miller scoreboard. I love interleague play. It's Milwaukee 4-2 over the Cubs at Wrigley this afternoon. Yankees leading 4-1 in the 9th inning. Pittsburgh 4-3 over Kansas City there in the 8th. Detroit trails Montreal 4-1 in the 7th inning. Toronto 2-0 lead over the Phillies in the 6th. And Atlanta trailing Baltimore 4-0 in the 7th. That's at Turner Field. And Boston beating the Mets 5-2 in the 6th at Shea. Cleveland and St. Louis rained out at Busch Stadium. Minnesota 4-1 in the 5th over Houston at the Astrodome. And it's Texas 2-1 lead in the 3rd over the Giants. San Diego and Anaheim a little bit later on, and Colorado at Seattle with the Dodgers playing at Oakland. Thank you. Meanwhile, here's Wilson Alvarez going out for the 7th inning with a shutout. Wilson will face the bottom 3rd. Eduardo Perez takes a breaking ball down and in. He's 0 for 2, a fielder's choice and a flyout. The son of Tony Perez. Fastball misses away. So it's 2-0. Mike Kelly to foul, and then Pokey Reese. There has been no activity in the Sox bullpen this game. There's a good fastball at the knees outside corner. Taking all the way. Sox are deep in the outfield and bunched. Jammed him. Uh-oh, here comes Snowpack. I think he got him. Oh, my, what a play by Snowpack. I'm just going to say, I think he should let that one go foul. Thanks for not listening to me, Chris.
Well, there's a great play right there. This is big league. Showtime at Synergy Field. Beautiful. Just got in by just about an 1/8 of a step.
Oh, he put a lot on that throw, too.
You can't do it any better. I mean, that's just absolutely perfect. The one thing he could have done possibly is maybe round it off just a hair. But still, there's a major league play.
Boy, he came in. He had to reach back a little bit. Left foot has got to be forward. When you make the play, you take one step, you make the off balance, and poof, there it is.
Great call by Wally Bell at first, the umpire.
Man. So big first out here in the 7th inning. Fastball misses to Mike Kelly. He's 1 for 2. Kelly, a former #1 draft choice of the Atlanta Braves. Thing never really worked out for Mike in Atlanta. Lack of playing time. So he's got an opportunity now in the Cincinnati organization. There's a strike at the knees. Former Arizona State Sun Devil. Fastball fouls it back. Kelly.
Well, excuse me, Wimpy. Well, a guy down there saved that lady from getting hit right in the head with that carom. Wow. And he had a little, boy, what a good play. Second best player of the game.
There you go. All right. Well, Wilson and Chris Snowpack with 93 pitches for Alvarez. Changeup popped him up. Left, right side of the infield. Ray Durham calling. That's easy. 2 down. A big welcome to the game to your great friend John Leach and his lovely wife and daughter who have joined us today.
Martha and Madison.
Yeah, Martha, yes. Martha, a great player in her own right, huh?
Of course, her sisters won the U.S. Open about 3 or 4 times. Hollis Stacy.
Right. Yeah, Hollis is good. And of course, John from the Harvard of the Southwest, the University of Houston. What an institution of higher learning. Here's Pokey. 273 hitter with a homer and 9 runs batted in. Fastball up and in. Yeah, I think Madison might be in that women's NBA soon. Great little young athlete. She'll be a point guard. Good fastball. Woo!
Gas right there.
Some hair on that one. Pokey Reese is going to have to dial it up if he's going to get to that fastball. 1-1 pitch from Alvarez. Good pitch at the knees. Looks like he took something off of that one. 1-2. Pokey likes to hit those right-handers. 306 hitter. Pete Paciorek started. Scott Sullivan now in for the Reds, and Alvarez all the way for the Sox. That pitch fouled off to our right, upper deck. I really like this interleague play. You know that, Hawkster?
I love it.
It's cool
And
being
the fans, I'll tell you what, the fans are
Yeah.
you're going to enjoy this so much.
Yeah, they're buzzing. I wish there would be more games. This is really fun. Curveball, kind of wrapped that one, gave it away a bit. 2-2 now on Pokey Reese. Deion Sanders on deck. Some of our young fans in attendance here tonight. Reese backs out. It's 2-2. Sox outfield swung way around the right field. That pitch just misses the outside corner at the knees. So the full count to Pokey Reese. Wilson over that 100 pitch total now as you look at Ozzie Guillen playing in left center, Roman center, just beyond the infield stripe. You can do that on the artificial surface. Now he comes in. Grounded foul wide of third. Well, I remember sitting in that third base dugout, and Johnny Bench was up at the plate, and I'm standing there next to Lasorda, right in that corner, and he gets the head of the bat out on the fastball, and he rips it right at us. And naturally, Lasorda pushes me in front of him, and it hits me right in the elbow. And Bench can't stop laughing as he's hitting the whole plate. I've got great memories of this park. There's a drive, and just foul. Yep.
That's a great memory.
Well, you know, I think of these things every once in a while. That's one of them.
Getting smoked in the elbow.
That's it. I don't remember doing anything good here. You know what Marty Brenneman said about me before the game? Can't repeat it. 3-2 coming up once again. Grounded wide of third. Snowpack, he's throwing some leather. Throw gotcha. 1-2-3 inning for Alvarez. We have played 7 innings. Sox lead the Reds 3-0.
Top of the 8th inning, 3 runs on 3 hits for the Sox. No runs, 5 hits for the Reds as you check out our Southwest Airlines tail of the tape. If you're just tuning in, a couple of home runs in this ballgame. A leadoff blast by Ray Durham, then a 2-run shot by Albert in the 6th. So here's Wilson. He's 0 for 2. Wilson robbed of a base hit on a brilliant play by Barry Larkin, the shortstop. That was in the 3rd, and he struck out in the 5th.
I got some advice for Wilson. Take 3 and sit down.
I'll tell you, the secret to pitching in the National League is to go 0 for 4, preferably 0 for 5. If you go 0 for 5, you know your team scored some runs.
That's right. It's humid tonight. And Wilson, I don't want to see Wilson run the bases. I do not want to be thrilled by that.
Breaking ball. Scott Sullivan had himself a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th.
Gotcha. All right, go and rest, Wilson.
See, that's the thing about it, too, with these guys.
That.
They're using muscles up there with that bat they don't even usually use. You're like, you know, you gotta be a little careful.
Hurt something right here. Look at this. Don't swing, don't swing. Ah, I swung. Now, that was regular speed. That was not slow motion. It just looked that way.
Here's Ray Durham. They 1 for 3. That leadoff homer is 4th, picking up his 23rd RBI. Outfield straight up. Baltimore hitting in the top of the 8th, now leading 4-1 over the Braves. Atlanta coming up with a run. Montreal 4, Detroit 2. That's in the top of the 8th. It's a big O in Canada. Yankees leading the Fighting Fish as there's a chopper to Pendleton. Fighting Fish hitting in the bottom of the 9th, trailing New York 1-0. And a reminder, our next game coming your way right here over WGN will be Monday afternoon, 3 o'clock. And the starting pitchers in that game, Jamie Navarro and Kevin Foster. It's Monday at 3 right here over WGN. So here comes Ozzie. And a reminder, don't miss Applebee's Kids Day on Sunday, June 22nd. Sox take on the Twins at 1:05, and all children 14 and under will receive autographed books courtesy of Applebee's. Now, there will be a pre-game player autograph session, and after the game, all kids will be allowed to run the bases, weather permitting. Admission for kids accompanied by an adult is just $1 when the tickets are purchased at the Comiskey Park box office day of the game only. Ozzie a comebacker to Sullivan, so he is face 6, retired 6. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 3-0 good guys. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-0. Sox on top. It'll be the top of the order for the Reds. Sanders, Goodwin, and Pendleton face Wilson Alvarez. Dion 0 for 3. Robbed of a base hit on a beautiful play by Alvarez. Then on second and third. 2 out back in the 3rd inning, and Wilson knocked it down and threw out the real speedy Sanders. Look where his left foot is, almost behind the plate. Takes that curveball upstairs.
Hey, he's battling up there.
And you see double-barreled activity for the Sox. Tony Castillo and Karchner. I mean, that's as close as you're ever going to see anybody right there in today's game. As fastball high and the count 2-0. All he's trying to do right here is either get hit or get a walk, or possibly a base hit. He's just trying to get on base.
I think he's taken all the way. I just think he's doing a real good job of making everybody believe he's not taking.
2-1. So I think certainly in the National League, when I don't watch them a lot, but the games that I do watch on TV, I think that they take a lot more over in this league.
Yes, they do.
There's a strike and a count 2-2. We can do a lot of things, and I think there's no question about the American League having better players.
Right.
But I like the style of baseball played in the National League. But the biggest things we talked about earlier, for my money, I just soon have both leagues under the same rules.
Right.
Either the DH universally or not. Personally, I'd rather see the pitcher back in there.
I never thought I'd say this, but I would too. Because chances, if that guy's pitching well, he's going to hit. He's going to go to the plate.
You know what it does too, Wimpy, is that as that ball hit, base hit. He gets right on top of the plate against Wilson. So great speed aboard. It also gives the fan and the viewer at home more of an imaginative input and relationship to the game, or whether or not you would take a guy out or not.
Oh, yeah.
Creates more thinking for the fan and the viewer.
It's not a bad pitch by Wilson coming inside, but Dion is real quick there. He didn't cream this pitch, but in his artificial surface, he hit it to the right spot. It'll go through.
Curtis Goodwin, he's 2 for 3. A couple of soft singles. Back up the middle. And a strikeout. Dennis Menke talking things over with Ray Knight. That's slap foul.
I'm a little surprised that Goodwin wasn't taking a strike right there.
Well, certainly the manager knows his players the best, but some guys, some guys just can't hit down in the count. When you run up against guys like that, sometimes you got to let them use all three.
Dude, I didn't like hitting down on the count, and I was
Nobody
always
likes to, but some guys
0-2
can.
before I was allowed to swing.
1-1 the count. Right here, Wilson just got to completely forget about Deion Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
3 runs on 3 hits for the Sox. No runs on 6 hits for Cincinnati. That's out of play, so the count 1-2 to Curtis Goodwin.
Well, Goodwin's got a couple of hits on fastballs down. I mean, Wilson, and he struck out on a good fastball in and about belt high. I'd like to see Wilson do that same pitch right there, but not down around the knees, because you can still get the barrel of the bat on it there.
Chopper right back to Wilson. Over to Dave Martinez, so a big out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And here comes the third baseman, Terry Pendleton. Ozzie talking to Wilson about if Ozzie does go over, it'll certainly be a set play. He just cannot afford in a 3-0 ball game like this, when you got the lead, to have to worry about keeping Deion Sanders that close. He's got to be covering some ground out there to keep the guys off the base paths. So if he does put it on, and now it's Ray Durham. As there's good fastball strike.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the artificial surface. The problem that'll cause. Well, you get those guys moving around on this stuff, and that creates a lot of holes, a lot of base hits.
Change up. Ozzie, got to hurry? Yes. As Davey Martinez makes a nice stretch, keeps his foot on the bag, and that's out number 2. Range is so important on the turf. And there have been managers who have actually said range is overrated.
Ha!
Right. So here is Larkin. A rocket single, a rocket double, and he's popped up the Snowpeck. That's trouble if it's fair. It is. There'll be fan interference as Deion Sanders scores, and it's a 3-1 ball game.
Well, the two guys that you worry about most in this Cincinnati lineup got a run right here. Deion Sanders with a base hit, and Barry Larkin with the RBI double. Larkin now 3 for 4.
Karshner sits down, and now Tony Castillo is joined by Roberto Hernandez. Tom Hallion going out. Try to expedite the meeting. So with 2 out, Larkin at second. Here's the Cincinnati catcher, Joe Oliver. Popped to second. Walked, and he's grounded to short. Takes low ball 1. Outside ball 2. Portis on deck. That's Scott Sullivan's position. Two balls and a strike to Oliver. Three 3-0 for the Sox, 1-7-0 for the Reds. Oh, Lordy. He got the head out front right there. Meanwhile, the count is 2.
Yeah, that was a little bit high. A little lower, and he might have hit that one real hard.
Outfield deep where they should be. Bell in left, Cameron in center, Mouton right. Durham and Guillen back on what would be the outfield grass at their positions. And a big pitch right here. Just off the corner with a fastball. Fabregas and Alvarez taking a ton of time locking up. The payoff pitch. So the tying runs aboard with 2 down. And here comes Brooke Fordyce. And here comes Terry Bevington.
Yeah, I felt like Wilson wasn't as crisp with his fastball, especially in that at-bat to Oliver. And that's the right move right here.
All right, so breaking the action as Alvarez will depart, and we'll be back with the numbers on Roberto Hernandez in just a moment.
Wilson Alvarez works into the 8th inning, and he leaves with runners at first and second, a 3-1 lead. There are 2 outs. Brooke Fordyce was announced as the pinch hitter. hitting in the pitcher spot, but since they brought in Roberto Hernandez, Lenny Harris will be the new hitter for Ray Knight's Cincinnati Reds. So Roberto 4-1 with a 2.57 earned run average in 26 relief appearances. He has 12 saves in 28 innings, 22 hits, 17 walks, and 29 strikeouts. So Lenny Harris, who has been a good role player over the years. I think it's his second tour of duty with the Reds. Also played for the Dodgers. And here we go.
So the 32-year-old veteran out of Miami, Florida. There's numbers 239, 3 and 16. 3-1 ball game. Sox lead it. Tom Coe goes in to run for Joe Oliver.
Brett Tomko's a right-handed pitcher, so sometimes they get the run.
Checks it up. Yes, he did. Nothing in one to count. Wow, 5 ribbies. Fouls that pitch down, so Roberto on top of Lenny Harris. No balls, 2 strikes. Outfield straight up in the deep. Splitter. Good job by Harris right there, just fouling it off.
Yeah. Tough pitch, darting down and away.
There goes Larkin. Here's a chopper up the middle. Ozzie on the move very quickly. Yes. Beautiful play by Ozzie to retire Lenny Harris and stop the Cincinnati threat. We'll go to the ninth. It's 3-1 good guy. Three-1 good guys here in the top of the 9th inning. Ray Knight looking on. A couple of changes here for the Reds. Moving in behind the plate for Joe Oliver will be Eddie Taubensee out of Orlando, Florida. And on the mound, the right-hander Stan Belenda making his 36th relief appearance. 0-2 record, 4.54 ERA, no saves, 39 2/3, 44 hits. But he has 46 strikeouts. As what a beautiful play by Ozzie to end the bottom of the 8th inning on that chopper by Lenny Harris. On the move. Nice play.
Good defense in this ball game.
So here's Mike Cameron. Mike 0 for 3, but he has scored a run. A pitch inside. There's a strike on the outer half, so the count evens at 1. You're joining us late Sox with 1 in the first, 2 in the 6th. And Cincinnati's lone tally coming last inning. Ball hit hard, but Larkin's right there, right over the top. Another nice play.
He's good.
So as Albert Bell makes his way to the plate, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
Along with the Whipperoo, Tom Paciorek. This is a Hawk-Ken Harrelson from Synergy Field in Cincinnati. First of a 3-game series and the first ever interleague play for both clubs. As here's Albert. He's 1 for 2. He's lined to center, walked, and hit a 2-run homer in the 6th over the right center field fence. There's a shot. Look at the play by Pendleton.
Wow.
Picks it behind him. The high throw, but Eduardo Perez and Whippy. Definitely some leather being thrown in this ball game.
Yeah, this is an exceptional ball game all the way around. Good pitching, good defense, some timely hitting. As you see, Terry Pendleton getting a tough hop right there on the artificial surface. And a nice play by Eduardo Perez, keeping his foot on the bag.
And a reminder, tune in to our next WGN White Sox broadcast on Monday, June 16th at 3:05. Now, the White Sox and the Cubs meet for the first time since 1908 while raising money for charities. Now, fans can bid on autographed vintage jerseys worn by the Sox and the Cubs players during this historic game. So for information, call a uniform hotline number at 312-674-5511.
And those are beautiful uniforms. The White Sox ones are. I saw them the other day. Whew.
Lyle Mouton. Oh, and 2. There's that game. Sammy Navarro against Kevin Foster. Monday at 3 right here over WGN. Yes, he's gone. Go 1, 2, 3 inning. Relievers have retired 9 in a row for Cincinnati. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Sox by 2. We are into the bottom of the 9th inning in the first ever interleague play for the Chicago White Sox. They lead it 3-1. There you see Darren Lewis has moved into center field in place of Mike Cameron, who moves into right field in place of Lyle Mouton. So coming out here for Perez will be Branson, Jeff Branson. Eduardo tonight was 0 for 3. He was robbed of an infield single and a beautiful play by Chris Snopek leading off the 7th inning. And that stands out as one of the good plays in this ball game as well. That fastball, tardy. Al Morris has come out on deck to hit for Mike Kelly. Morris, good hitter. That's into center field. Darren Lewis, can of corn for him, makes the catch and a big out. One down here in the bottom of the 9th.
How about that play Wilson Alvarez made? That saved 2 runs on that bullet off the bat of Deion Sanders early on. So I'll tell you what, Hawk, this is one of the better defensive games the Sox have played this year.
It certainly is. Also, I'll tell you what, interleague play is going to give the players a chance to get pumped up a little bit, coming into new towns, new ballparks they've never played in before.
Yeah.
And you know, that's always exciting as a player.
Always. It creates a postseason atmosphere.
Yeah, it gets your adrenaline flowing a little harder. Willie Green has come out on deck to hit for Pokey Reese. There's a strike and a count 2-1. Fouls that one back. So Roberto, after falling behind 2-0, is even. pitching matchups tomorrow evening. Danny Darwin against Kent Merker, 29-year-old southpaw. And in the finale Sunday afternoon, it'll be James Baldwin against Dave Burba. A couple of right-handers going at each other in the finale of this 3-game series. And it's back home Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the Cubs. Just off the corner. Smokes that one. Good stop by one of the fans down there. So Roberto trying to nail it down for Wilson Alvarez. And pick up his 13th save. Ground ball. Dave Martinez controls it underneath to Roberto, right where he should be, and that's out number 2. So here's Willie Green hitting at 236, 7 homers and 31 knocked in. Sox with those 3 runs on just 3 hits, 2 of them left the premises. Solo shot by Durham in the first, 2-run blast by Albert in the 6th. The only other Sox hit was a single by Ozzie, which resulted in a run as Cameron hit into a 4-6 fielder's choice. Here comes Durham on the short hop, up with it over to Dave Martinez, and history has been made as the first ever interleague play for the White Sox results in a 3-1 victory. And Whippy and I'll be back to wrap it up right after this.